Hey guys, it's Tina, and this is my weekly reading update. I finished The Way of Kings. I really enjoyed it. Love the characters. Fell in love with Shallan. I enjoyed Daladar's storyline towards the end. The last couple hundred pages had me extremely captivated. I didn't want to put it down. I'll put that down because it's pretty heavy. I couldn't stop reading it. I was reading it every time I had a break at work. I was reading it whenever I got home. I got it on audio and was listening to it whenever I could. So basically the last couple hundred pages, I was just about obsessed with this story and getting through it and to see what was going to happen next. If you haven't read it and you're into epic fantasy, you should pick this book up right now. If you're not into epic fantasy and you're interested, my advice for that is to pick it up and stick with it for at least half of the book. At the beginning of the book, there is a very intense couple of chapters. There is a really intense battle scene. There is a really intense, I believe it's the prologue. So the prologue and the first chapter are really intense. I was immediately hooked and really excited about this story. Now, I knew going into it that it was going to dip down and have a slow couple hundred of pages. It was easy for me to stick to it. But I knew the payoff was gonna be fantastic, and that's what I got. I got a nice, gratifying ending and payoff to the couple hundred pages that seemed really slow. But those couple hundred pages were necessary because they built the characters so much that at least I really cared about what was going on and what was happening. So when it came to the action, it was a high impact for me when we got to the action parts and the ending of this story. That is what I have to say about that. I am thinking about doing a book talk about The Way of Kings. I'm not really sure if I really want to because there's so many people talking about this book, and I'm like, do we really need another person to do a quote unquote review or talk about this book or whatever? So I'm on the fence on whether I'm gonna do like a sole video for this book. If I am, that's probably gonna come out on Friday. If I do. If I don't, I'll have something else on Friday. Okay. Then I read Under the Water by Paul Penn. This is a thriller. I am normally not a thriller reader, but my pal over at Books and Yada Yada was talking about it. So I decided to pick it up on my own. She didn't recommend it, so it's my own fault. I liked Under the Water as much as I'm going to like a thriller. Under the Water is about a family that is in desperate need of a change. So the husband gets a job in Boston, and to move his family from Seattle, which is one of the reasons why I picked it up, because it was originally set in my area, hometown-ish, and then drive cross country in a motorhome to Boston. I thought that was pretty intriguing, so I picked it up. Like I just said, this family is in need of change. The motorhome that they drove cross country with was purchased previous to them leaving, but was never used. They decide to utilize this motorhome to drive cross country over to Boston and see the sights and just start on a new adventure to live in Boston in a like high note of a family vacation type thing. But problems ensue and catastrophe strikes and nothing goes as planned, and it's utter family chaos. I enjoyed it for the most part. I would probably give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a short book, so it was a nice quick read. So what this book did well for me and why I enjoyed it was the instigator of these events, or the person like causing these events. You at times felt sympathy for that person. And then they would do something and you're like, no, I don't feel sympathy for you anymore. There would be a gray area where you would be like, well, wait a minute, who's really causing all this? Who's really at fault for all of this? Because it kind of flips back and forth between who the instigator is and who the victim is. So you would sympathize with who you think is the instigator, and then you would kind of flop decisions and be like, well, no, maybe this other person is the instigator. And then they would do something, you would sympathize with them, and you're like, oh no, this person is the crazy person, this person's the instigator. That part I really enjoyed about this book, because there was no clear good guy, bad guy in this book or situation. And it was a pretty quick read. I read it in like half a day. After reading The Way of Kings and then reading Under the Water, I basically got a book hangover today. So I haven't read anything today. I did start Run Into the Fire. I've been trying to read this book forever. So I just decided to pick up this book. I got 11 pages into it. The main character that I've met so far is Hughley, and he likes to be outdoors, and he saved a dude from a dragon. Hopefully I'll have more for you next week. And I'm also going to start The Dragon Reborn with the Wheel of Time books. I read them on audio and physical book. I generally read this book in between breaks at work. Or this series in between breaks at work. So I'll probably start this tomorrow when I have a break at work. So that is my reading week. What are you guys reading this week? Did you have a good week? It's like pouring down rain here. It hasn't been pouring down rain here for a little bit, so it's kind of feels like normal weather for us. Okay. See ya next time. I am trying to post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye. Why do I blank every time I'm trying to talk about this? Stella, you're interrupting my video, Stella. It's been raining all day, so they haven't been able to play outside. So they're just like, at this point, saying, screw it, I'm just going to play outside in the rain anyway. So they're going in and out, in and out, in and out. Silly dogs. Sounders. It's peach tea.